Let's talk about something that sucks. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. So today we're going to talk about something uncomfortable. I have been contemplating making this video for a really long time just because I felt super alone and I felt weird for the way that I was feeling. And then recently I've come to realize that a lot of my peers and people just around the same age are feeling the same way as me. So I kind of just wanted to talk about it. Nobody really talks about it, so let's talk about it. Post-grad is really, really, really hard. This is coming from someone who didn't really have a good college experience. I didn't really have a friend group. I didn't really go out to parties. That was mostly my fault, but I couldn't wait for college to be over. So I can't really imagine how people feel that actually really enjoyed college, because this really sucks. There really is something so special about living with a whole bunch of people your age and getting that first taste of independence without having the full-on responsibility of being like an actual adult. It's definitely something I wish I would have taken more advantage of, but there really isn't another time in your life that you experience something like that. So when it's all over, it's definitely weird. Post-grad is really hard and no one really talks about it. And that's really frustrating for me because I felt like things were gonna be rainbows and butterflies and I was gonna get a job and I was gonna move to a city and everything was gonna be perfect. And that's just not the reality for everyone. I think a lot of people in college think that that is what is gonna happen, and when it doesn't, they just feel really depressed and start having a lot of anxiety. And for me personally, I've been struggling with a lot of post-grad anxiety, and next month I will have been graduated for a full year. So that is pretty crazy. So I just want to talk about a couple things that I've been struggling with and some things that I know people my age and people I graduated are struggling with. And hopefully this video can help someone else out there who is also struggling with post-grad feelings, because it is really hard and you are not alone. You have to give yourself a break because you have been going to school for 18 years of your life, and it's definitely like a shock to be going to school for that long and then all of a sudden it's like, goodbye, have fun, go off, have fun, don't be shy, have some fun. You know, a lot of us like to be free and fun and spontaneous, but structure is just what we're used to. We feel safe with structure, and once that structure is gone and you don't have the safety of just going to your classes every day and the only thing that you really need to worry about are your grades and your homework, and all of a sudden you're just kind of like this little thing just trying to find your way in this huge world, and that kind of is a sucky feeling. And then not only are you struggling with having no structure, but then, you know, if you're like me, you have debt to worry about. It really feels like, you know, a million weights on your shoulders, and it sucks. I feel like I can't relax ever. I feel like I constantly need to be making money to pay off my student loans because I feel like I'm never going to be happy until those student loans are paid off, and that's like just a sucky feeling because money just isn't a topic I necessarily want to obsess over, and I find myself obsessing over it constantly because I just want to like pay my debt off. But I think something that has helped me with that is understanding that this isn't like a credit card debt. It is technically a good debt, and I'm not the only person in the world that has student loan debt. Even though it sucks, it's kind of comforting to know that I'm not the only person in the world, and if you also have student loan debt, you're not the only person in the world either. The best thing to do is do the best you can, because you shouldn't spend the first couple years of your 20s when you're not in school, you know, working your life away just to pay off this debt. And then yeah, like you get to live the rest of your life, but when you were 23 to 25, you made no memories. And I just personally, to me, I don't think it's worth it. And I also find something that is super common with, you know, this age group is constantly trying to monetize our hobbies. Like, we feel like we can't just have hobbies to have hobbies. Like, we have to have hobbies to make money. And it's just the society that we live in that is just work, 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 work. we're so centered around work and making money, and we just like don't ever do anything as a hobby or something just because we enjoy it. I find myself, because I have so much student loan debt, I'm like, okay, what can I do to make more money? You know, could I sell clothes? Could I make macrame? Could I do some paintings? Like, I just feel like I'm constantly trying to find another avenue to make money, and that is so stressful, especially because I just spent 4 years studying to have, you know, a full-time job that's supposed to pay me well. But like I said, that doesn't always happen for everyone. Looking back, college was just, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it because I used to argue with my mom and tell her that I would rather go to work than go to my classes. And honestly, school was just simpler, you know, like just being able to go back to your dorm room and take a nap in between classes, or stay up all night watching Netflix in the safety of your dorm room. It's just like such a simpler time, and I'm just so nostalgic for that because I didn't have to worry about what I was going to do with my life for real. Like, obviously I was thinking about jobs that I wanted, but now I'm presented with that challenge, and it's like, okay, let's say you actually have to make moves now. You're not in the safety of like your dorm room. Like, this is real life now, and that's really scary. And I wish counselors would have talked more about, well, what happens if you don't get the job of your dreams right out of college? I know so many people who just feel awful about themselves because they don't have the job that they thought they were gonna have. And that's okay. Sometimes you just go down different paths. And a good way to describe all of the stuff that I'm talking about is post-grad anxiety and post-grad depression. The best way I can describe how I feel is that I am in the middle of an ocean and I'm about to drown and I can't see any land on either side of me. And that is a really, really scary feeling. And I feel really alone a lot of the time because I feel like once you graduate, you're supposed to have your life figured out. It's like you spend 4 years going to college and then you're done. And you feel like you have no direction, and you know where you're supposed to be and you know where you want to be, but that's here and you're here, and everything in between, you don't know what to do. You don't know how to get from here to here. It sucks. It's confusing, and you just don't think it's going to be like that. You think it's going to be this perfect straight path towards your goals. And in reality, it's much more complicated than that. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Alyssa, just apply for jobs. Just apply for jobs. Thank you. Yeah. Imposter syndrome. Let's talk about that. I will read a job description and I will talk myself out of every single job. Every single job. I feel like I know nothing. I'm like, what? I'm just me. Like, why would they hire me? Like, I'm not supposed to be working. I'm not supposed to have a career. I'm not supposed to know anything. Like, I'm just me. And if they hire me, they're gonna end up knowing that I don't know anything. They're gonna know that I'm fake. They're gonna know that I'm a liar. And it's like this internal conversation that I'm having with myself. And it could be like, the job description could be like, communicates well. I do that. Or huge on organization. That's me. Knows how to use Adobe Creative Suite. Got it down. Knows how to brush their teeth in Spanish. Oh, can't apply. And it's just all the time. Every single job. I talk myself out of every single one, and it sucks. Like, I just get such bad anxiety because I'm like, I'm a fraud. I have this degree, but I feel like a fraud because I just can't imagine myself being an adult with a career, a successful career like that. Like, I'm still 18 in my head. And then there's this whole comparison game when you see, you know, the other people that you graduated moving to a new city, having a new job, you know, getting a dog, getting engaged, and you're me, 23, living in your childhood bedroom, and you're kind of like, cool, yes, buddy. And you don't want to be jealous, you want to be happy for them, but you're like, I feel so behind. Like, I'm failing. I'm 23 and I'm failing, and they are having cocktails after work, and I'm trying to find the courage to get out of bed in the morning. But it's okay. because you wanna know why it's okay? Because everybody is on a different path, and my chapter 3 is gonna look different than your chapter 3. Things are just gonna happen to me when they're meant to happen for me, and things are gonna happen for you when they're meant to happen for you. And it may not be when you want it to or when you hoped it would, but what's meant for you is gonna come to you no matter what. That's something that I've had to tell myself, because I would literally scroll on Instagram and Facebook and see all these people that had graduated just having the time of their lives, and it sucked. I felt miserable. Like, I literally had to get off social media. It was so hard because I was like, I'm not good enough. Like, I should be farther than where I am. But in reality, things are just happening different for me, and that's okay. And I don't know what's going on in their life. Maybe they hate their job. I don't want them to hate their job, but they could be looking at me and are feeling like, like I wish I would have stayed home for a year, like everybody's different, and things are confusing after college graduation. And I don't wish bad upon them, because I know moving to a new city is hard, and moving out of your parents' house is hard. Like, it's hard to swallow that you're not a kid anymore, and like you can't go back. It's done. You're an adult now. Like, you're not a kid anymore, and that's a really scary feeling. Like, I hate growing up. I used to cry on my birthdays because I didn't like growing up. I didn't like growing older. It's exciting. Like, I can't wait to start my life. I can't wait to be the woman that I've always dreamed of. So if you made it this far, I want people who are feeling post-grad anxiety and depression to feel confident in knowing that maybe they don't know what they're doing right now, but they will get there eventually. We are going to do it. I'm going to do it, and you're going to do it, and we're going to be fine. But in the meantime, I would just like to promote this book that my favorite YouTuber, Best Dressed, posted on her story. And it's called The Defining Decade, and it has helped calm me, and it has actually given me a lot of confidence in feeling like I deserve what I want in my life. Because we deserve our dream jobs, and we deserve, financial security, and we just kind of have to figure out this messiness, and we'll get there. Not to be like citing my sources. On page 60 of this book, I was reading this yesterday as I was planning out this video, so it just kind of felt like a sign. It says, in the 21st century, careers and lives don't roll off an assembly line. We have to put together the pieces ourselves. And I was like, mega. At me next time, girl. That really put it in perspective for me, because that's how I thought it was gonna be. It was just, my job was just gonna next in line. No, like, I have to work for it. I have to figure it out. No one is gonna figure it out for me. And you can be sad. Sometimes I'm so sad I don't wanna get out of bed because I'm not where I wanna be. But what's important is that let yourself have your bad days, but it's really important to let yourself have your good days too. Whether it's just taking a bath, and maybe you just apply for one job, or you look up YouTube videos on something that you wanna learn, and you aid to yourself in some way, whether it's skincare, reading a book, learning something. Just take care of yourself while you're trying to figure this out, because when you start to take care of yourself, you'll start to love yourself more and understand that you deserve all the success that you crave. I wish I knew the perfect thing to say, but honestly, I'm still struggling myself. I know something that's really helped me is not only reading that book, but saying positive affirmations to myself and writing down my goals has been something huge for me. Just visualizing and seeing everything that I want is a huge motivator for me. Writing down your goals will help them feel more attainable. I don't know why, it helps. You're not wrong or stupid for feeling this way. I think that's really important to share. Everything that you're feeling is totally valid. A lot of people are feeling like this and they just aren't talking about it. We are gonna achieve our dreams, and we're gonna look back on this period of our life and wonder why we were ever worried in the first place. If you need someone to talk to, give me a little ring-a-ding. We can chat. I like talking about this because it makes me feel better. I hope this made you feel better. If it didn't, I'm sorry. Besides that, that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel close, but don't be afraid to give me a like or a comment, subscribe. I don't know, whatever you're feeling. I wouldn't be mad, but goodbye.
I said it before and I'll say it again. I love you.